Game coming off a loss. The St. Catherine men's team lost to William Carey of Mississippi, 84-70 in their last time out, and that was way back on December 12th. So they've had a long layoff. It's been a while since they've played. So a lot of different things to talk about in this second half, but I don't think either team should be tired.
That's for sure. Maybe a little sluggish just because they haven't been out there, but fatigue shouldn't be a factor.
Should not be a factor. As we talked about, this one is going to be a fast-paced ball game. Coach Thompson alluded to that at halftime of the women's game when we caught up with him. They would love to get out and run if they can, because St. Catherine notorious for zoning, folks. They would love to lock you down in a half-court game. That's just their style of play, and we'll see.
Well, I tell you, look out for Markwell Hickerson. We've seen him a couple times, and he has the ability to take over a ball game. Don't know if I've ever seen anybody shoot as well as he does from the outside and barely jumps off the floor. Gets about an inch off the floor, but he has a silky smooth shot.
Well, something's got to give offensively and defensively. St. Catherine comes in average at almost 84 a game, and Cumberland only gives up about 62.5 a game. So something's going to have to give here in that category. But this one ought to be a doozy. You're not quite sure what the delay is right now, but a little bit of a pause. I think they're trying to get get the clocks set up to work. I believe they'll keep it on the side.
While we got a moment, William Tolfree didn't really get a chance to talk about him. He comes in here averaging 15 points a ball game. Really got to watch out for that guy. Also, 3 other players in double digits, and Omar Skinner at 13 a game. William Bailey averaging 12 a game, and Hutchinson coming off the bench averaging 10 a game. You got a guy, it's not even a starter, averaging double digits. That's a threat.
Well, I think we've got everything straightened up, and we're getting ready to tee it up, and we do. Tip controlled by St. Catherine. St. Catherine in their road black, trimmed in purple and gold. Cumberland in their home gray, trimmed out in black and cardinal. Inside they go. St. Catherine off the tip, right off the bat. Tolfree running one-hander, good. And you got to watch out for him. This kid is 6'6", and with this vertical jump, I'm sure he is at least about an 8-footer. Here's Prather.
He's got length on him as well. I would say his wingspan is more than 6'6".
Oh, and Stripling tried to thread the needle, and he couldn't get it through the eye. Here comes Tolfree back the other way after the St. Catherine steal. They'll fade it across, top of the key. Drive, penetrate, no place to go, back out to Tolfree. They'll skip it across to Lewis and set it up. Lewis matched up with Prather. Cumberland in that patented man-to-man they run so well. Wow, they're going to call a moving pick, I do believe. Let's see who they get. Tolfree.
Boy, you'd love to see that happen again. We were able to do that in the women's game, get their leading scorer kind of.
John, just so many wide open jokes with the last name Tolfree. Up ahead, here's Dern Prather on the wing. Back out front to Stripling, and they'll set it up. Kenneth Stripling, just 5'10", 177. I imagine that was when he was soaking wet, out of Smyrna High School. Works it across. Hickerson has it now. They'll go to Dern, fakes the 3. 13 on the shot clock. Looks for Stripling. Now had it knocked away from behind and taken out of there. Out of the pack comes Skinner. Skinner, alley pass up ahead. Easy basket up there for Chris Starusky. So Starusky with the basket. We thought he was wearing 32 tonight, but I guess he's wearing 23. Here comes Hickerson. He'll work it across. Guarded by Tolfree on the front of that. It looks like a 1-3-1 zone. Way out front, it's Milliner. Milliner matched up with Hickerson. 12 on the shot clock. Skip pass across. Prather fakes the 3. Baseline Stripling. Pull-up jumper. That one no good. Battle for the rebound. Brinkley clears it. Back out front and a fresh 35 for the Bulldogs. Hickerson controls it right at the jump circle across from Stripling. Back to Hickerson. They're looking for Brinkley, and Dern can't get it to him. Now Stripling across to Hickerson, left wing outside the 3-point line. In the corner, it's Prather. Drives the baseline. Dish underneath to Dern. But before he could do it, he stepped on the baseline. So a nice little penetration, but Prather went a little bit too deep with that one, John.
Third turnover of the ball game already for Cumberland. Prather, just his second start of the season. Maybe a little bit of jitters right there as he had a good move, just went a little too deep. But you like the idea, and you like him attacking.
So 4-0. St. Catherine ahead, 17-36 and counting here in this first half. A steal by Brinkley, up ahead to Hickerson, and they'll have to slow it down. So Hickerson looks backdoor to Dern. Wow, he got a couple of folks in the paratrooper club, and he'll draw the foul. Didn't get the basket to go, but we'll have to wait and see who the foul's called on. They're going to call that one on William Tolfree. So we had another uniform change. William Bailey apparently is the one we identified as Chris Starusky. They've changed all their numbers on us, John. Why would they do that?
Keeping us on our feet. 82% from the line is Dern.
First one's good. Wow, finally the goose egg's gone. Man, getting nervous there.
Don't like to see your first point of the game coming at the 17:23 mark, you know, almost 3 minutes into the game, but good news is they've only scored 4.
Yep, I watched the Vandy game the other night. They didn't score for like 6 minutes. It was getting to be painful.
I want to talk about it.
Dern's second one up and good, so 2 free throws has cut the lead in half with 17:21 to go. It's 4-2 ball game. St. Catherine with the lead and the ball. Romeo Lewis gets it down low. Inside spin. Up and off the glass. Can't get it to go. That was Austin. His missed shot rebounded by Skinner. And Skinner didn't get it to go once, but second chance does go, and the lead back up to 4 at 6-2. Back the other way. Nice fadeaway. Pulled off by Josh Wilkerson. So Wilkerson is checked in. It's Wilkerson, Hickerson, and Good, along with Dern and Brinkley, your 5 out for Cumberland. St. Catherine pull-up jumper from the free throw line. That one in and out, no good by Bailey. Rebound taken off out of there. And there's that man again, Josh Wilkerson. I tell you, Josh is just slick as it can get.
Well, he is one of those guys. He's sleight of build, but he is all over the court. He is quick laterally and baseline to baseline. He really gets going in the open court. And right there, you saw that new call we've been seeing in college basketball. It didn't really affect us that much in the first game, but 2 hands. As soon as both hands were on him, the official was all over the call.
Josh's legs are so skinny, John. Every time he gets more than a couple feet off the ground, I'm afraid they're going to shatter on impact.
He's even got the little leggings on it.
He does. He's got a wrap tonight. Turnover down in the corners. That pass a little bit too wide for Lester Good. So the 4th Bulldog turnover gives it back to St. Catherine with 16.5 to go here in the first half, and Bulldogs down 6-4.
2 turnovers in the ball game also for St. Catherine. So both teams a little lackadaisical here in the early going.
Here comes St. Catherine on the attack, working the show out front for Romeo Lewis. Right side, they'll feed it across. There's a drive, a running floater. No good. Tipped up, no good. Austin with the putback, no good. Brinkley got a hand on it. Finally taken out of there by Lewis again, and they'll call a reach in, I believe, on Good.
I think every single person on the court touched the ball that possession. All 10 players had at least a finger on it.
Skinner was the only one missing, and he was able to touch it as well. Romeo Lewis and Skinner working the backcourt as William Bailey stays in or into the ball game for the first time will be Tyler Smothers. That will get Raymond Austin to the bench for a breather. Also into the ball game for the first time comes DeMario Frazier.
First time we've gotten to see him this season.
I'm telling you, we had heard a lot about him. We'll see what this is all about. 16 minutes to go here in this first half. Cumberland up or down 6-4. Right out of the bat, here comes Hutchinson. Missed a shot. Rebound taken off by Frazier. Up ahead to Hickerson. Here they come. Hickerson pull up from 12. Wild shot. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound taken off by Hutchinson. Looks for an outlet up ahead. They've got a 2-on-1. Here comes St. Catherine. Had it stripped from behind, but they'll call a travel. And that was going to be Bulldog ball either way you looked at it, because if it wasn't a travel, it would have been a steal.
3rd turnover of the ball game for St. Catherine. And it's one of those where you wish that soccer rule again would come into play. That was an advantage without the call. Just let it continue to play.
Yep.
Doesn't happen often, but it happened there.
Had a fast break the other way, just couldn't get it to go. Back into the ball game. Markel Hickerson walks it across the line. Hickerson and Wilkerson in your backcourt. Good on a wing. Brinkley man in the post. And as we said, DeMario Frazier, the 6'4 junior, by way of Murfreesboro in the game. Missed shot, rebound, outlet to Skinner. Skinner behind the back, pull up from the left elbow, drained it. So the lead back to 4 at 8-4 with just over 15 minutes to go. And Cumberland not able to really get any offensive board work going. Here's Wilkerson.
0 rhythm as well on the offensive end.
Wilkerson over to Hickerson, and they'll set it back up. Now Hickerson fakes the drive, skip across to Wilkerson. They've got Good on the left wing. They're looking for Brinkley down low. Can't thread it to him. Frazier sets a pick. Left wing Wilkerson across the lane. Threw it behind Good. as Good was running out to the wing, and I think Wilkerson thought he was going to stop on the baseline. Nonetheless, the 5th turnover gives it back to St. Catherine with 14:47 to go, and the Patriots leading our Cumberland Bulldogs 8-4.
Very strange opening 5 minutes of this ball game.
No rhythm.
None at all. Zero for either team.
Just sporadic. It's in little spurts.
Herky and jerky.
Yep. Roy has checked in for St. Catherine. Got it to Lewis, and Wilkerson says, get that shot out of here. Man, what a stuff shot by Josh Wilkerson. He might just be 5'11", but he can sky.
Well, he had good timing there as well. Kept both hands up the whole time as his man came off that curl pick at the top of the key.
Goon checks out. Alex Flagler in for the first time. So Flagler, the 5'9" sophomore out of Atlanta, Georgia, will run the point for the Bulldogs as St. Catherine back on the attack. Underneath it's Hutchinson, and they're going to whistle Cumberland for foul, I believe, and I'm not sure if they got Lamar or not. But
I believe they did.
Not a lot of contact on that one, John.
That'll be his first, and unfortunate with the new rule changes, it's the exact opposite of how Lamar Brinkley likes to play basketball, and he's been out of competitive ball for over a year now with injuries, so it's going to be quite an adjustment for him.
Well, I'll tell you, if you could measure Hart, though, he'd be 110% on the meter.
You're not kidding. Hutchinson to the line, 43%. He's already been there 44 times this year, but only knocking down 19 of them. Misses that one. I believe, he's done that and still averaged 10 points a ball game, almost 11 points a ball game. So we might have figured out who we want to foul down the stretch. Again, just 43% from the line. That's a Shaq number, isn't it?
It is. He's one of 6 St. Catherine players to average over 22 minutes a game. So he's an important key and missed both of those. So an empty trip for St. Catherine. Outlet pass up ahead to Wilkerson. Didn't catch him napping. Right side they go to Flagler. Brinkley sets up. Now Frazier sets the high ball screen. They swing it across to Hickerson. They're going to call a reach-in foul, and I believe they're going to whistle that one on Teron Franklin.
That'll be the first on Franklin and the 4th on St. Catherine.
So 14:05 to go. Still an 8-4 ball game. Cumberland down by 4 as Brinkley gets a breather. And back into the ball game. We're into the ball game for the first time. Comes D-Mac, Daniel McFadden, and another reach-in foul. This one's going to be called on Nick Porter, so the whistle's starting to go off here. That's already the 5th team foul, and we've played just under 6 minutes.
And that doesn't help with that rhythm we were talking about again for either team.
Makes it herky-jerky like you were talking about. Here comes Markel Hickerson to Flagler, left wing Wilkerson, back to Flagler. Franklin pops out on him. Now they've got Hickerson open. Finally in the corner, Wilkerson right wing out to Hickerson. 18 on the shot clock. Ball screen for Frazier. And they're going to call a moving screen on DeMarco Frazier. I'm not quite sure why. I thought he got there and set it up. But that'll get E.J. Perry up off the bench with 13:43 to go, and Hickerson will get a breather. So E.J. Perry replaces Hickerson. Perry will join Flagler, McFadden, Frazier, and Wilkerson as your 5 out for Cumberland with 13:42 to go. And the Bulldogs down 8-4.
12 points combined in this ball game from both teams in over 7 minutes of play.
Here comes the double team trap. They get it down low. McFadden all over. Oh my goodness, too much all over Julito Hutchinson. So Hutchinson will make the basket and draw the foul from McFadden. And with 13:31 to go, a chance to make this, I guess, a 7-point lead. I thought they got the basket. They did.
There we go. But again, if you're going to foul somebody, Hutchinson's the man to do it. 43% on the season. Of course, as soon as I say that, he'll hit 10 of them tonight.
The John Jinx.
Always.
It's up and good. Some things you know are going to happen. You know,
there should be 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and the John Jinx.
Or the Marv Miss, one of the
Marv
two.
Miss. They're interchangeable.
Yep, and just substitute one for the other.
Yeah.
13.5 to go. Here comes Cumberland beating the full court pressure. Flagler over to Perry, out front to Wilkerson. Fakes the 3, back out to Flagler, and they'll set it up. 13-20 and counting. Flagler with the crease across to Wilkerson for 3, left wing. That one no good. One and done. Rebound Hutchinson. He handed off in the backcourt across to Roy, and they'll set it back up. 13:09 and counting. Cumberland trails 11-4. St. Catherine back on the attack. Cumberland in that man-to-man. Nick Porter works on the left wing, guarded by Perry, tries to go inside. That one knocked away to McFadden, up ahead to Flagler. Here comes Cumberland. Flagler in the open court gets tripped. Oh, my goodness. He had some help with that travel. They're going to call a travel, but he got tripped up in order to travel. Good gracious.
Well, nevertheless, that'll be the 7th turnover on Cumberland.
Wow.
In the first game, we saw 20 combined turnovers for the entire game. Already here, with still 12 minutes to play, we've got 13.
You can tell it's been a long time since both these teams played. They are coming off a major, more than a week break. Down low to Hutchinson, almost taken away by McFadden, and another travel call.
You know, and you're going to see that more in the men's game because it is more fast-paced. It's a lot more, they're relying a little bit more on their athletic ability. They're going to like to get up and down the court. So I guess you can kind of expect that. I don't like seeing 9 whistled fouls right now. That's not helping, but couple that with the turnovers, and you're in for a slow game.
McFadden to the bench, back out. For Cumberland is Dern. Also into the ball game comes Daquan Bond. We haven't called Bond's game tonight. He has actually gone out replacing Frazier. So your 5 out would be Flagler, Wilkerson, Bond, Perry, and Dorn. 12-20 and counting. Here comes Wilkerson down the lane. Couldn't get the layup to fall. Bond couldn't get the rebound, so here comes St. Catherine.
12 players have already been in the game tonight for Cumberland.
Boy, that's a luxury he didn't have last week. And another travel, I do believe, underneath, and I think that one's Hutchinson again. He just can't get this dribble step thing down. He's struggling.
It's not as easy as it looks. 6 turnover now in the ball game for St. Catherine to Cumberland's 7.
Well, Stephen McCray will check in. Raymond Austin will check back in as well as the 2 big guys, Hutchinson and Smothers will check back out for St. Catherine's. Out front, here comes Flagler. Good pick from Dern. Right side Wilkerson in the corner to Perry. Fakes the 3. Down low to Bond. And Bond's going to draw the foul from behind as it looked like Austin didn't move his feet and tried to reach around, and they'll call you every time for that. Great ball movement, though. Good ball reversal by Cumberland as they got it to that corner and able to get the entry pass. That's where we go for the first break. 11:50 to go here in the first half. Cumberland trails 11-4. They'll have the ball for Cumberland. They'll work it out front. Flagler at the top of the key. Flagler, no place to go with it. He'll back it out. Lost his balance across to Perry. Back to Flagler. Flagler guarded out front closely by about Teron Franklin. Wilkerson bounce crash to Flagler for 3. Off the mark. Perry got a hand on him, but instead outlet pass all the way up front as they get it to Franklin. His running layup is good. Wow. So just like that, the lead's back to 9 at 13-4. Wilkerson across the timeline, just barely beat the count. Working over there on the far side, guarded by Nick Porter. That's a bit of a matchup. Wilkerson across to Flagler. Bond posts up low. Perry runs through. Now they've got Dern on that backside. Long 3 by Wilkerson. That one no good. Bond couldn't get in out of the pack. Up ahead, missed shot, but they will call the foul. Wow, that's a tough break that time. As Stephen McCray beat everybody back. And McCray will step to the line to shoot a pair. Couldn't get the basket, but did draw the foul. And boy, the fouls are starting to add up. That's the first foul called on Moritz Dern, but already the 5th team foul. St. Catherine's with 6, so 11 total fouls here, and we're not even halfway through this first half. Free throw up and no good. Free throws are killing St. Catherine right now.
From the free throw line as a team, St. Catherine now 1 of 5.
Boy, they've missed some golden opportunities, too.
That was McCray's first miss of the season. Before that, he was 2 for 2.
And now he's 2 for 4 as he missed them both, but rebound taken off by Hutchinson. Hutchinson spin move in the low post, run around floater, no good. Went back and got his own rebound, put it up and good. He was just waiting for a foul, and I think that's Brinkley. Wow, and if so, that'll be Brinkley's second, so that might be the end for Lamar here in this first half.
Well, you're talking about a team in Cumberland that averages 73.3 points a game, and at the 10:47 mark, they have 4 points. I'm not so sure if it's the St. Catherine defense or if it's just the rust being shaken off of